Hey everybody, welcome to ThinqTanq, where our diverse leaders handle your diverse challenges. Today we're going to be looking at how to keep moving in the midst of a national or global crisis. I'm your host, Ray P. Ferrer, the CEO of Ray Coach. Won't you join me in welcoming today's brilliant and, might I say, glamorous ThinqTanqers? Who are you, where are you calling in from, and what's one thing you're grateful for today?
Hi, I'm Dr. Misha Mosley. I'm calling in from Oakland, California, and I am really grateful for my health and my community. This is the time when coming together is everything, and staying healthy is a part of the process.
Hi everyone, I'm Asha Mehta. I'm calling in from San Francisco. I run a consulting firm that focuses on leadership and organizational development for predominantly feminists of color. And I'm grateful for life today. I'm hearing more and more people being affected by COVID. I'm grateful to be alive.
Hi everyone, my name is Miguel Yanez. I am a life coach and a health coach, and I also run learning and development at Children's Hospital Los Angeles here in Los Angeles, California. And I am grateful for life. I'm also grateful because I have my first vaccine for the COVID-19. I'm waiting for the second one, but I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you all. And I'll share, I'm grateful for all the above. I'm also particularly grateful that I got this from my niece and nephew both. 4 things that they love about Uncle Ray. So they were doing practice on gratitude. So I'm grateful for their gratitude, and they did this little art for me. So I have that here next to me. Now, today's challenge, ThinqTanqers, isn't sent in by any one person. Normally we have one coming in. But I'm noticing this across all my coaching clients and amongst many of my colleagues right now. As we film this, we're all in the middle of the global COVID-19 pandemic, protests that support Black lives after the murders by police officers, and most recently here in the US a few days ago, an attempt to disrupt the federal government by armed insurrectionists. Every single coaching client I've got is bringing in a much higher level of stress and expressed trauma to their sessions. How are each of you keeping whole in the midst of all that's going on? What are your go-to practices to stay on track and keep moving forward, or just stay whole with all that's going on?
For myself, the idea of staying connected to nature and connected to the earth is really important. So part of that looks like, having plants in my home. Part of that looks like going for hikes or walks. And for me, the idea, I mentioned that I was grateful for community. So being in community with folks who are also affirming and also taking precautions to stay healthy, both physically and mentally. I absolutely curate what comes into my psyche. So I love getting on the gram like everybody else, but I don't watch videos over and over again that I know will harm my spirit. I scroll for the funny, I get my information, and then I keep it pushing. So that's how I take care of myself.
Thank you.
I could not agree more. I meditate every day, at least 30 minutes, and I love what you say, that you keep your connection with earth and nature. That is extremely important. I do that. I do the same thing. I plant as much as I can. Not so much planting right now because it's the winter and plants are dying, but I keep my succulents on point. So I dedicate some time to plant, do my walk around, and that's very important. Make sure that you walk around a little bit every day. Connection with the air, connection with nature. Even if you have a busy street, because I live in a busy street, even if the cars are passing by, just that connection with nature, with air, it's very, very, very important.
Thank you, Miguel. Asha, what's up for you? What's going on for you?
Yeah. Well, what I really love about what you said, Misha, when you said, I curate my psyche, I was thinking, that's so beautiful. And I think what I do is I curate my psychosis, I also know that, I'm crazy. Right. And I get crazier the more dishes I do. So sometimes I need to, throw a dish, or I don't know what I do, but I curate that. So that's one thing. And the other thing is, like, I've been really leaning into this concept of rhythm, which comes from, I've been starting to study Ayurveda, which is an ancient traditional Indian medicine and healing practice, and it's a little known. Everyone thinks of Ayurveda as a bunch of herbs, and it is, but it's also like one of the fundamental principles is rhythm. And I think that how do we have rhythm in our lives? And our rhythms have so drastically shifted. So can I do the same thing around the same time every day? Like just eat or walk or breathe or, you know, and have a rhythm? Because when my rhythm is disrupted, I can't function.
Thanks. You know, it's interesting how this can throw you off, right? Like all that's going on can easily throw you off, and rhythm is so important. What's the thing I'm doing every day? What's the thing I'm making sure I do and don't do, right? For me, it's cooking and baking. I cook dinner almost every night for me and my husband. And I started doing that when I started working from home. The minute I had virtual work life, which is a long time ago, it had nothing to do with COVID. My work has been virtual. I started realizing that my last call of the day could be, I could multitask and do some veg prep, like, and start cutting up vegetables or chopping things up while I was coaching my last client or in my last meeting.
Oh, that's what was in the
That's the
background.
noises
That's
you
what I
used
was
to
hearing.
hear, exactly. So
Okay.
one of the ways that helps me stay mindful is it's very tactile, because so much of my work is up here, you know, and is heart centered with people. So I'm connecting mind and heart with people all day. It's important for me to just do something tactile. So Miguel, you talked about plants. That's another way that I know people do this. They garden or they do something that's both tactile and also beginning, middle, end. Something that it's a task that has a finish,
Connects
right?
you.
Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, there's something really great about doing these things, a meditation practice that has a time associated with
Absolutely.
it. You know, like rhythm, the rhythm of every day, right? The other thing I'm noticing is grace. I know I need to have more grace with other people, because when I'm most stressed out, I don't, you know, and I lose patience, and I'm just like, this person's not delivering, or, you know, this consulting partner isn't you know, holding up their weight or pulling their weight or things like that, whatever it might be. And that's me at my worst. And I need to pay attention, because when that starts showing up, when my impatience starts showing up, I'm not dialing up my grace enough. So I'm just noticing how much more grace I have to evidence on a daily basis for other people and really for myself, right? So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
just up for me
Yes.
these days.
You mentioned that do you do the cooking for your husband at home?
Yes.
Okay, so cooking stresses me out. So one of the things that you have to do, everything that stresses you out, don't do it anymore. So I have my husband, he does all the cooking for us. So I just relax while I eat. That's very important. So things like, we had the bad habit of looking, I don't know if you guys watch ID television. It's a very interesting show, but it has a lot of negativity to it. So we took that out of the equation during COVID. So that takes out any negativity or any feelings of anxiety, because when you watch these shows that are no longer in sync with what we're going through, then that can create some anxiety, some fear, some feelings that you really don't want to explore right now. So that's something else that we started doing, taking those shows that are not very good out of the equation so we can experience peace and harmony.
Thank you. That's a lot of curating, you know, curating your psyche and curating your psychosis maybe too, right? So like that's
Yes.
I have a friend, I hope she doesn't realize I'm talking about her right now. Don't tell her. I mentioned her. I won't say her name. But she we went to school together many years ago, and when I read her social media feed, back when I was on Facebook regularly, right? I would read her social media feed, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it was. And it was sort of like, racism still exists and is killing people, this just in, right? So like every post was that. And it's like, we know. All your circle of friends is fully cognizant of this right now. Like, I'm not sure who this is serving, and it starts to hurt. You know, it starts to hurt
Yes.
both my connection to me, my connection to my community and my connection with her, with my friend. Because I'm just like, instead of this, can we talk about what we're creating instead? Can we talk about what's next? Can we be futurist in some way? Like Latin and Afrofuturist and Asia futurist? Like, can we get, can we bring the new forward? So that's challenging for me, because at the same time, the social media is useful because it has shone a light on important things. I'm also like, yeah, I know already. Misha, I see you nodding.
And I love you saying that. Because one of the things I was thinking about, often with social media, and I think particularly for many of us, it's like connected to your brand. What are you putting out there on social media? And for some of us, it started as a personal thing, right? Like for those of us who started on Facebook, I'm a woman of a certain age, and Facebook was really about connecting with old high school buddies. And now all of a sudden I need to have a brand and I need to make sure it's consistent. And I was like, you know what? My brand is going to be protecting my peace. You're going to see all these posts of me
I love that.
On a hike, loving myself, enjoying myself, because to your point, the folks who follow me also follow all the folks who are going to give you who to call, what senator to call, what thing to be mad at, what hashtag. Like, I've come to recognize that it's okay if people who know me know my stance, and there's not going to be any doubt if I'm not posting frustration with an issue. Oh, I wonder if Misha supports that. No, you know what this is. But when you see me come up on your feed, you might need to see those pretty flowers I brought for myself, because I just wanted some pop and color in the room. You might need to see me reference something that brought me joy. And so, and that doesn't mean that every once in a while I don't repost something, that's critical or political, but I really appreciated you saying that, because I think a lot about what is the energy I'm putting back into the world? How can I acknowledge the challenges and frame it? Much of my work at the Black Teacher Project is about liberation. So how can I reframe what I'm talking about in terms of us being free, both in our psyche, in our word, in our deed, all that kind of stuff. So when you said that, I just made that connection, because that's 2 months ago. Because, after the election, I was like, you know what? We ain't got no results. Let me not go down this little rabbit hole. Let me just protect my peace.
Yep. Protecting your peace. What does that spark for the rest of you on the call?
Protecting the peace. I think I love the way that you were talking. You were talking about politics. So protecting my peace right now is not watching anything that has to do with politics. I got the results. I know who won. I know who didn't won. I have the information right now to turn on the TV and watch news. It's something that I do probably for 30 minutes just to know what's going on in the world, and then I shut it off or change to the next channel. That's how I protect my peace. I don't watch the news more than I need to, in order to just get the information that I need.
Interesting. You're doing the same thing that my father's doing. My father, who turns 92, God bless him, next month, turned off the TV and disconnected his cable so that he didn't watch any news after the election was over. This year's election was over, and his candidate won, and he was happy. So he's like, okay, punto final. I'm gonna go watch old movies. So he's watching classic movies on VHS now, and that's all he's doing for the next few weeks. And he's like, after the inauguration, he'll come back to watching television again, and somebody will have to go to his house and help him hook up the cable one more time. But anyway, well, now, folks, that's all the time we have for this one topic, and there's so much more we could say. We're grateful you spent time with us and listening to us talk about this. Just remember, curating your psyche, curating your psychosis, however you are approaching this, making sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing to nurture self and what are you giving out in the world to other people. Those are the bottom lines I heard in our call. Anything else you would add, folks, before we close?
I think protecting the peace was a really also very well said and very, very important thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing, be be grateful. I mean, we're alive, we have a home, we have food, we're healthy, and those of us that are healthy, be grateful every day for everything you've got.
Yeah, and I would say be grateful for what health you do have, because even if there's even if you're having a health challenge, there is health you do have, right? So
Absolutely true. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you all again. Thank you, ThinqTanqers. Thank you, viewers. Viewers, if you have a challenge you want to send in to us, just send it to me at ray@raycoach.com, and we'll have at it. Thank you again, Kuiengse. We send you a hug.